Trust for Educational Workers is all.
Test. 1, 2, 3. Can you guys hear me? Please let me know in the chat. What's up, Nexus? What's up, Playmaker? What's up, Radium? Looks like we got audio right. I just want to make sure in the chat before we go, because you know me, I've been battling with getting mics, everything good. Yeah, here you. Awesome. Let's get started. A little different today on the intro, but very, very worth it.
Just kicking my day off like I normally do, watering my own plants. Nobody to help me out with this whatsoever. All right. Just ironing my own napkins like I normally do. And after this, I'm probably going to fold them up. Just brushing my own teeth like I normally do. Nobody holding the toothbrush for me. All right, I hope you enjoyed my totally normal day. Remember, it's totally how you choose rich. All right.
Sorry. Had to choose rich. It's one of my new favorite things in crypto Twitter. I still don't know what it's about, but the dude is absolutely hilarious. So make sure you choose rich and go check his stuff out, because you could tell they did a lot of takes, and I really appreciate that, because you can see them almost breaking character and like starting to laugh in some of the skits, but it's freaking hilarious. But anyway, moving on. Welcome. This is the Rainbow Trends stream. Trying to come up with a name with it. Stream every Thursday at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, and then we spend about an hour here, and then we hop over into the Discord and we do an open mic roundtable with the OGs. I think last time we had like 30 or 40 people in the Discord, and Alpha's only been getting like more and more impressive. So shout out to the dudes who routinely show up and drop all the type of charts, because after these streams I'm pretty blasted, and really like to hand over and see what you guys are talking about. Plus you guys give me insight into the markets as well. And likewise, if you're new here, don't know what's going on, check us out at rainbow-trends.com. Big thing at the top is the Discord link. That works and is free. There's no paywall in our Discord, and I know I'm biased, but it's like the best alpha group out there. I'm not just saying that. You can go talk to the other dudes. But anyway, if you're curious about how the tools work or something like that, I don't really have enough time to do tutorials on the weekly streams. I go into some of it if you guys have specific questions, but the main thing is here, you can check us out, all the different breakdowns and the videos of each one, and see some of the other traders that are normally in there using our stuff as well. But let's get started. And kind of a really, really cool thing. We've been doing this Discord, built our own up from the ground up, from like nothing, and we actually broke 1,000 members this week. So big shout out to all the guys who've helped me along the way. We really started with nothing on an old laptop, coding, trying to chase whales, Alameda with colors, and a lot of people blew it off, and then a lot of people stung around and figured out like this stuff's real, and chasing whales actually has some merit, because you can see stuff that a lot of the other people can't. Because truth be told, most people trade leading and lagging. We kind of trade in the moment of what the whales are actually doing. So it's a bit different take, and it's got a lot of algos and stuff with it, an F ton of code, but it works out, and we're still here. But big shout out and big list of a bunch of the guys. If you aren't following any of these dudes, please do. They are some of my OGs of the OGs. Even if they're not Rainbow Theory traders, they've helped along the way, and they're people I highly recommend. And by the way, Fletch, I don't know your @ symbol at Twitter. You may not have one, but you've been with us for like 2+ years, and I don't know your Twitter by heart. So anyway, moving on. Big normal per usual. The stream is intended for educational purposes only. It's not intended to be used for financial advice. Even if you were to mistake this for financial advice, you should consider this god-awful financial advice. We're looking at stuff that's clearly malicious scamming, with no case or use or legitimacy. Very likely all to go to zero. You may even go below zero. We saw with negative oil a few years ago. So shout out for 9K for longing negative oil and getting your bids canceled. So I know that still stings, but still one of the funniest things I've ever seen in crypto trading. Anyway, another thing, you notice the Panda PFP, we're still rocking pandas and all that, and the actual Discord, not the Discord, but the raffle for the 15 Rainbow Trends unique items actually ended today. So they're going to be announcing the winners pretty soon, but there was actually like 4.63 million points submitted for this raffle. So I'm really interested to see who wins and get them hooked up into Rainbow Trends. So if they start showing up in droves in the Discord with Panda PFP, please show them some love. They're good people. But I agree, Nexus, we do need to do a pizza party. I wanted to start today kind of going back to the roots of Rainbow Theory, Rainbow Trends. 2017, got knocked up, got knocked down, dust settled, and watched Bitcoin go from nothing to 20K back down to 3K, going, what the F just happened? And that's where the questions come along about what on earth is a whale? That's the truth of it. And what can a whale do? What can a whale do? Are they even real? Is it myths? Whatever. Truth be told, there are whales. They're very large whales, and they are in control of the charts. And they do a lot of stuff that to shake you out of your money. And they're very, very good at that because they're the top of the food chain. And the big thing I've been focusing on is the TradeFi whales getting into the crypto space, specifically the Bitcoin ETFs. It's some of the best flow data ever as far as where Bitcoin's going. And people still kind of overlook of what we're dealing with. Because up until this point, we didn't have these big top of the food chain guys showing up in crypto. The amount of money like BlackRock and Fidelity can swing, that's Fidelity, that's BlackRock. If there was a dead whale, I would call that Grayscale. But really, the market kind of changed because the oceans, we've gone from, kind of a sea to an ocean, and now we're seeing different sized whales starting to fight each other, as well as some of the legacy of the previous bear market where people are getting shaken out and still bleeding. At the turmoils of the bear market and SBF, FTX specifically going down was an onion, and FTX blowing up rippled through all the different smaller entities and took a very, very long time because a lot of them tried to save it. Some of them could do it. As I'm scrolling my mouse, I've never seen that whale, but it looks like a freaking dolphin with a mask. I gotta look that up. That's cool. But anyway, we start from the bottom, move our way to the top. The dynamics are changing for sure, and we need to keep that in mind because people keep trying to apply old data to new conditions. That's just the truth of it, and I'll go into that in a little bit. But we want to focus here because the big boys, we now have the big boys making a splash. So to the chart, a lot of people have gone absolutely crazy this week over this little retrace. You see the whale prints, and you see the whale print actual signals getting flagged because we're seeing whale print clusters. It wasn't that gnarly. Your leverage is showing if you're freaking out over this. We had a 9% pullback over 24 hours. 9%. If we zoom out, you can barely see this damn thing. And we're still in our all-time high order block. This is very, very key. This is like the most important order block in the world right now. Why? Because it's the current one we're in, and it's the one that marks the all-time high from the previous dual peaks of crypto, of Bitcoin specifically. We're in the never-been-done-before territory if we get above it, and we have gone above it. We've closed a bunch of candles above it, and then we went back down into it. And now we're trying to work our way back above it, right? But we got a lot of stuff coming, and that's totally fine. Totally cool. Is what it is. We're not worried. F it. Let's be worried. Maybe we go to $2,000, right? I don't know. I doubt it. I would bet against it because I am betting against it. Not that I trade securities. But guys, like, y'all forget these days. You do. These were much bigger in comparison. 28% in half a day over the FTX collapse. 28 at like 15K. Pulling back from all-time highs back down to like 64 and back up. Just chill. Crypto Paradigm. I wish I had the tweet up. He says you guys would literally do better if you went into a coma for 2 months, and he's true. Because your job right now is to not overclick the buttons because they are trying to liquidate you and rip the money from your hands. And this is not the point right before the Bitcoin halving to let that happen. Especially because, like I said with those whales, these dudes up top, they're consuming big time. Even though people like, oh, we've had a few negative flow days. Let's check it out. BlackRock, the biggest of the whales, still accumulating. Still inflow, and they're eating spot Bitcoin and making it a rare commodity. And like I said, the Bitcoin halving approximately 15 days from now, April 20th. I think that's close to the eclipse day as well. So shout out if that happens, or if it's the cicada thing that people are starting to talk about on TikTok. Not that I TikTok, but the point is, there's going to be chaos. going into this. Even if there's not, and it's going to be small, like actual chaos, the whales and everyone's going to hype it up. Crypto Twitter has gone from it's dead, it's over, we're back, about 10 times in the past 36 hours from this. Chill out. When we're wicking pivots, I don't get really bearish. That looks like support to me. There's buyers stepping in. We're getting blue split volume prints on bearish candles. It's kind of a sign showing you the whales are showing in. Also, these whale print clusters rejected. They tried to nuke it and it stopped. And it stopped right on these pivots. And we didn't close a single candle below this pivot. And these pivots are not hand-drawn. It's an algorithm. And they're very important because they're unbiased. Regardless of what I think, they're going to paint them where they think it's important. And original shout out to Doppel for requesting that like 2 years ago. And since we've cracked that code, I have yet to change it. It's needed no updates. Kind of shocking because a lot of other stuff did. But back to this. This flow still matters. And one thing to point out, and one thing that like a few of the guys pointed out in the Discord, as well as like kind of Doppel bringing in some rhyme to the reason. And if I keep mentioning Doppel, I'm just probably the #1 fan. I'm a big fan of most of my guys in the Discord, so I always root for you guys. But he brought up something that was really interesting because all of a sudden, Grayscale quit, knock on wood, printing 3-digit outflows. And it didn't make sense to me. I was expecting maybe we'll do it for a day, they'll come back hard. So far, they've only done 3 days in a row below 100, and it's roughly 81, 75, 79. That's really, really close. Why? We don't know why yet, really. Don't know. We can speculate. And one of the really cool speculations in the Discord that got posted up was this tweet by James Safart. However you say that name, I don't know. I'm sorry, James. It's the first time I've read your last name, actually, and that's kind of... Oh, I bet grade school was hard. This is not the tweet. Oh, there it is. Sorry. I'm zoomed in too much from the Choose Rich thing. Regardless, what James is saying is also going to make a call. I think we are likely through the Gemini Genesis selling due to the Genesis bankruptcy for GBTC shares. Time will tell. Now, if you go look it up, I don't have it pulled up right now, but I think it's about, put it in the Discord, I think it's about $1.4 billion worth of Bitcoin. Not number of shares, not number of Bitcoins. It's total millions of dollars. I think it's 1.3 billion. Now, mind you, that's like a week of this, but I think it was March 14th is when they were greenlit to offload it per the courts. You can go look it up. I'm trying to keep this stream down to an hour. But if the Genesis Grayscale, Genesis was ordered to dump it, they're going through bankruptcy, and they're paying their like what 98% of the what's owed to the actual user. So shout out to the Winklevoss for actually doing that. It's as much as I don't like them, they some of the guys in the Discord got destroyed on that whole deal, and they're getting their money back, so I'm rooting for them. But the thing is if Genesis is done liquidating for the court proceedings, maybe we're not actually going to bleed this thing out as far as we thought. And that's the truth. And I updated my Operation Bleed Grayscale out chart today. I plugged in about 2 or 3 weeks worth of data, and then I started doing projections linearly. Of course, remember we've covered the gross assumptions to do that. It changes, but this is what I kind of did to try to get a window of the time frame. This is the actual outflow data plugged in meticulously into an Excel sheet by none the other. And then we have the average outflow rate since inception. 150 million per day, 125, 100, and then 75 million per day outflows. So I took the assumption is, what if Grayscale bleeds out at 125 all the way forever, 100 all the way forever, 75, whatever, right? And that gives us this projection. So if they keep trucking at the average, Grayscale goes to 0 in July. If they keep at like 150 million per day, and they average that's sometime in like September, November for 125, basically January for 2025. And then if they really slow walk it, June of next year. Now, we know Grayscale's not going to go to 0, but I don't know where that level is, so I have to put the window. So somewhere, this is going to curve and flatten and then potentially go back up, especially if they drop the fee. So maybe Genesis is bled out, and maybe we're just going to get to like into the 2s to 3s, and we just kind of go out here, and then it keeps trucking up. We don't really know yet, but maybe. And if we get there, that's really, really bullish, because these red numbers, every single day they get offloaded from the Grayscale whale into the other whales, into these other dudes who are just consuming it, shrinks. And now we have a net seller that is gone. And that's what we really, really want. This is my most bullish thought, is this, because they're doing way more damage than the miners are doing. Miners are only dumping like 900 Bitcoin per day, which is like $50 million. These dudes are dumping like hundreds of that. Now they're doing 80, which is like 1.5 times what the miners are doing, but still, you get the point. And Bitcoin halving still coming April 20th. It's like 15 days from now. Actually kind of moved back. I believe this was 4/18 the other day. But anyway, it's moving back out. And Grayscale's bleeding out. And Grayscale, I think, so it's kind of like we're going to start talking like, if you're old enough to remember triple halvening talks of like the Ethereum ETH 2.0 merge, we're kind of looking at something like that in my opinion. But it's not like speculation. The sellers are going to disappear. The miners are going to have less. Grayscale's going to have less. And buyers are going to keep trying to buy. And how do you feed these big whales? Because you can't just keep producing more Bitcoin. It's not like Roger Ver is going to take over the show and produce more Bitcoin. So with all that being said in this kind of like Bitcoin ranty intro, we have to be cognizant of something. And I didn't want to do the video clip. And this is not the GIF I posted. Give me 1 second. I was on a roll. Give me 1 second, because I really need this. Back to the future. 97%, 3%. Sir, ask, are you going to get paid back 100% in full? Because that would be awesome. Or is it 94 and then 97? I don't know. Shout out Esk. He's one of the OGs. So, I don't have the full thing because your boy's a full-time streamer. But this is really the sentiment you guys need to keep in mind. There are a lot of people trying to apply old metrics, never been done before, have been done before, always in absolutes. 100% of the time, it fails. Every time, whatever. Where we're going, we don't need roads. And the point that I'm talking about is your maps are gone. And when I say that, I mean that, because the truth be told, we're going into areas that have never been done before. And you have to keep that in mind. The point I'm saying here is we have broken the all-time high of Bitcoin before the halving. This has never, ever been done before. And people don't know what to do with it, and they're trying to apply old metrics. Now, and it's fair, you can apply old metrics. To quote Josh O, history doesn't repeat, but it definitely does rhyme. And that's something to keep in mind, is knowing that your maps are gone. The ifs, ands, or buts, what's your prediction? Is this the top? Is the top 400K? Is the top 100K? I've never seen such varying degrees of what people are calling. So in short, I'm very bullish. I'm not really worried about much as far as in terms of Bitcoin. In the past, we have seen volatility around the halvenings, around these purple colors. And you can hate stock to flow all you want. Focus on the colors. The colors matter because that's the timing of the cycles forced by the halvenings. I'm a really big proponent of it. People that just ignore the other line because it deviated so low and people roasted the dude. The colors still hit hard. Until proven otherwise. I still like this one. As much as I say don't use old metrics, this part of the metric I like because it's time-based. It's not top-bottom based. So I'm cognizant that you can't be confident, because the people that are telling you 100% all in and confident on certain things, they're blowing up left and right, and they have. Now, you're asking yourself, dear Lord Runner, you're bullish as F. Yeah, we struggled and grinded through this and built up a bunch of the Rainbow Trends dudes and OGs, sharpened our tools, and we're back up to like 65K. I'm not going to cry about it. We went from 70 to like 65K. That is super, super awesome. Now, with that in mind, what makes me bearish or what makes me scared? Because there are things that are bothering me, and we are getting into territory that's never happened before. So that's the super bullish side of like my outlook on crypto markets specifically. So let's go over some bearish things that Runner doesn't like. $2 billion of the Silk Road DOJ funds got transferred to Coinbase. Typically, knock on wood, the DOJ and the feds don't typically send Bitcoin to Coinbase to leverage it long. They typically offload. Now, with that being said, with the flows, we have seen crypto eat billions dollars of offloading. So we can do that, but it's the feds. They could scare us. And sure, we're teetering on the edge of the all-time highs. Let's dump 2 billion. I don't like it. It's not cool. Now, with that being said, the other thing that's kind of bothering me, we went through all this work in the crypto industry. We'd spent years trying to get real retail in. We finally get them in. There's people that can buy Bitcoin on their plain Jane Fidelity 401k. And what did the market do 2 months later? We went straight into meme coin season on Solana. So shout out for choosing that path. I really thought we were going to do like boomer tokens. I really thought like, what's an easy pitch to someone who got a taste of Fidelity Bitcoin ETF? Surely that's like Litecoin, right? Bcash, stuff like that, right? Cardano, stuff like, the older generations are aware. No, we went straight to memes. And I don't think the memes based on people's cats' names is really gonna work. And it's chopping up a lot of people. That bothers me a lot. And when I say chopping up a lot of people, this kind of encapsulates that perfectly. Open to short and a long, they're both in a loss. Praise be. And it's a lot of people right now. This all-time high order block is not the area to get exposed crazy. This is where you can sit in spot or sit sideline and chill the F out. It's totally fine doing that. Now, that being said, there are things that are rolling over more concerning. Bitcoin, it's holding, right? It's holding the order block that is king of the castle right now. Is it a pretty one? No. Is it? Of course, I would love it higher, right? I'm always going to say that. But at the same time, this thing just can't keep going at these rates, right? We have to be cognizant. You just can't hold this. Otherwise, we hit like 200K by June, which that's not going to happen. I'll just say it. That's not going to happen. Maybe, I don't know. You'd have to have like I don't even know. That's just physically not possible. But there are the things that are rolling out. And so in a good example of how like Rainbow Theory hit hard, people were super bullish on this Ethereum channel walk. When you see this, me marking charts like this is totally a channel walk. And I was looking at the old setups of Ethereum, and typically in the past when we had Ethereum rocking a channel walk, it typically rolls over and then it retraces. A really good example of a channel walk Rainbow Trends like traders caught earlier in the year was Apple. Apple channel walk we caught, and a lot of people like actually did put options and like did really well. I spotted this one. I got a lot of flack because I came off as bearish, and it's totally cool. You can call me a bear. But truth be told is when I see certain setups with like Rainbow Theory, I start getting skittish. And this is why I got skittish. We're starting to play a fractal out, and I don't think we're going to get a 60% bleed out to like 2,500, but that's what Ethereum has done in the past. So I'm cognizant of this exact setup has happened before and retraced super hard, and I don't want to be part of that. So Long story short, I'm skittish when I see this setup channel walker vertical, or I'm sorry, that's the actual channel walker tool, an actual like draw your lines channel walk, and then a rollover. That rollover in the paint is really, really concerning. And so far, it went from like $4,000 all the way down to like 32. That's pretty rough. But the ETF is coming up in like May timeframe. That decision. Now, the decision with like the ETF is kind of up in the air. Some of the stuff Fidelity have been doing is kind of counterintuitive. So I'm a little less on the side of thinking it gets approved. I'm kind of more skeptical now. But regardless, feed me dips. I'm just going to keep eating them spot and just not caring. And that's, do your own research. The other one, Solana, went on crazy run. You know me, Solana's not my favorite coin for personal dumb reasons. I don't like stuff that restarts, and I don't like stuff that like Sam Bankman-Fried had really, really big control of. But that being said, homeboy got 25 years. I wanted 40 to 80 years, but I'll take what I can get if he actually serves the full term. I'm not a lawyer, and the lawyer that I was trying to reference for some things couldn't get back to me in time, so I'll leave it at that. We'll see if he actually does the time. Regardless, your boy's in jail, and it's awesome. I want the whole Alameda team in there, but they got at least 2 heads of the Hydra. We'll see what Caroline gets in her sentencings, and they already wrecked Salami. And please, Department of Justice, if you are listening, can you at least tell us the deal that Trabucco got? Because, like, if he gets to keep the yacht, just, like, let me know at least, because I'd like to go find the yacht and maybe add a hole to it in the build system and making sure it's tip-top shape and can sync. But regardless, because I think I technically own part of that. Not really. Maybe like a turnbuckle on it. We'll see. But anyway, I digress. Solana has done the king of recoveries. And this is where people need to understand. You blindfold me and tell me, like, don't tell me what this is Solana. Solana did a 97% down draw. Mind you, like, Luna did like a 99. So this is like almost a Luna chart to like 0. It damn near is. And from the Pico bottom, and shout out to like Malifestro and them for like getting in these stupid freaking lows. It's gone back up 3,000%. And also, like, how can you go down 99? How can you go up 3,200? It's because it's easier to be a bear, or it's easier to be a bull. Do the math. You can do 1,000,000% up to 100% down. But that's the 100% reclaims is like 3,200%. Right now we've done 21. That sounds awful. 2,200, 1,000% lower. You get the point. We've done climbed damn near all the way up the mountain, almost, and right there, 215 was what we tagged. To get to all-time high, we had to get above 260. Now, my point is, if I had exposure here, and I make it all the way up through all these pivots, through all this resistance, and I get up to the very tallest of the order blocks, I quit caring. And the reason I quit caring is, if this damn thing goes all the way up here and rolls over and retraces, I don't want to sweat bullets over that. I just want to be sidelined, chill the F out, wait till we start getting all-time highs, and then let it run, and then you can totally get back in. So bring up your stops, sit in cash, do whatever you want. Just do not give this back. That's a few $1,000%. If you got it from here, do not lose it, is the point. And a good example of that is, what did Bitcoin do way back in the day? Not that we're sponsored. Let's go Kraken, because shout out Jesse Powell. If you want to remind yourself what the F is Runner talking about, do you remember this one? That was the initial all-time high on Bitcoin, 65K. And it came all the way up to that top kind of order block area, barely got over it, and then it rolled. And then it went all the way back down and even printed lower lows. Way down here, right? Free fall. The point is, you can ride this up and then protect it. Like, whether that's a trailing stop loss, whether that's you diminish your position, whatever. And then, if we just keep trucking, you can always get back in. That's all I'm trying to say. But we're talking about what makes runner bearish. I don't want to see Sol roll over. If Sol rolls over, that's a top 5 now crypto. It's way up there. It's probably it's probably more than Ripple. I don't know. Anyway, if it rolls over here, this is gonna suck. It's not like this money's just gonna roll into Ethereum and Bitcoin, and they're just gonna keep rolling while Ethereum dies. I don't think that's really on the roadmap. Another thing, WIF kind of rolled over, and this thing has done a ridiculous move. Let me turn the log off. Well, that doesn't really do much. Hashtag pro streamer. 100% move in just months. March. Wait, oh shoot, I'm on 30 minute. That's why. Yeah. This thing has just trucked. This is a very, very bad chart, to be honest with you. It doesn't have the history. But WIF has gone way high. Way higher than most people's targets have even entertained. And it actually like almost hit $5. And then it retraced down to like 3.5. This is brutal. There's a lot of market. You can say, oh, it's just a meme. It's one of the top memes, and it's becoming a blue chip meme. And a lot of people have made a lot of money on it, and it's got universal appeal. It's a dog with a hat. But if this damn thing bleeds out like Sol, not like Sol, if Sol and WIF both kind of like, and they're on the same chain, this stuff bleeds out, that's bad news. Bad news. And it's just part of the game. So it's something we have to keep an eye on, and it's just something we have to move forward with. But that's the bull and bear kind of like argument is where we are with crypto. There's a lot of other stuff like I just really don't, I'm not like crazy about. Gun to my head, I really want to bag more Render. It's an actual like AI token. I know memes are the greatest things ever, but like we had a really nice bleed out after some crazy pink candles after the NVIDIA conference, and now it's kind of bottoming. Don't tell anybody, because no one's talking about AI tokens. But if the memes bleed out, maybe we go back into to like actual kind of like use-based tokens. Maybe the meme tokens have a utility case I don't know about. Maybe I shouldn't focus on utility cases for crypto, because I really can't even tell you what parallel EVM is yet, but it sounds bullish for say. But the point is, I think the dudes who are actually showing up at NVIDIA conferences, like the greatest company in the world right now, I think this is a bigger deal, and it's retraced. So I think there's a buying opportunity here. Not that this is financial advice. So anyway, now, other thing that concerns me, I've been a little off on the Wall Street stuff during the past few streams, but I've started to pick back up on it. Specifically today, the daily close was a bit funky. SPX, the S&P 500, actually nuked into the close. And it's probably like 2 days ago, I started saying like, hey, I'm pretty sure this is a channel walk on the S&P 500. Although I typically don't look for channel walks on these high of a time frames, but I can't argue with this channel, especially when you see the channel walker hugging it perfectly in that angle. Not so big on that. Let me check. I said a mind melt. What's the S&P ticker? I forgot. Anyway. Oh, that's gonna drive me nuts. ES, that's what it is. Yeah, albeit ES isn't going to do much after hours compared to S&P. But the point is, I don't really like that. We're screaming all-time highs, and it kind of pulled out. And then everyone's like, what's happening? What's happening? What's the news? War and stuff's kind of ramping up. That's one thing. Now I'm starting to see news talking about swine flu in the cows. Not swine flu, bird flu. We've got the bird flu in the mammal with the hooves, and apparently that's a thing now. So not really, I don't know, dudes. But that's a clear channel break. Now maybe we recover it, because channel walks in the past can do like temporary little blips and then get bumped back into the channel. But if this continues, dudes, not good. Not a good look. Because typically Bitcoin does care if the S&P falls. Normally they're pretty damn coupled. Right now, They're not acting like that, and the Bitcoin's actually kind of like moving up and saying, I don't really care. It pulled back a little bit today, but not a lot. So keep that in mind. Oil is also almost back up to $90 a barrel. So I started picking back up on my old charts and starting to watch this because we've watched this one for so damn long, and it's just been really kind of easy to chart on the 4-hour and the 12-hour. But this is something, and I don't have a really fully formed opinion yet. I'm just telling you this is something I'm starting to really pay attention to and starting to read up more about, especially like more of what the TradeFi bros are doing. And maybe we can bring out some of the TradeFi bros in the after hours Discord sesh. Gold is screaming as well into all-time highs. Silver's cranking up. And I'm not really sure what to make of this. Now, typically, looking at that stuff, I start thinking inflation cost. I think of flight to safeties. I think of all this other stuff. The RRP's draining. There's a lot of stuff, and there's not a lot of stuff that I have enough time to research every day. I'm a full-time engineer. I'm also a dad, and also a coder, and a streamer. Name it. A lot of stuff going on. So I bring that up to say, pay attention. Something's cooking, and I don't really know what it is. Maybe it's just super bullish and just like maybe the stocks are just going to keep going up to infinity. Gold's going to go up to infinity. Bitcoin, everything's just great. Maybe, and inflation goes to zero, right? -5. But this is a good point to stop and do a big shout out to Josh Olszewicz, as always. Carpe Noctem. He does a lot of videos, and he's been doing videos forever. But the one thing I have been very, very, very keen on is these macro Mondays. These are very, very good outlooks. I don't miss a single one of these, albeit sometimes I catch these a day or two later, but I just do that to better spot check Josh to see if his predictions on Monday hit by Wednesday, right? I joke, but he does way more content than I could ever do, and this stuff's really, really good. And this is how I catch up on a lot of data. So you want to talk about like a life hack? The dude puts these out for free. Interact, get on here, get some likes, do your thing, show him some love. As always. Also, he's been on our Discord. Or he's in our Discord. You can ask him questions. Check out his Discord as well. And it's a good dude. And he's actually, we've did an interview with him for a while ago. So it was really cool. Hopefully we can get him on one day later. Anyway, moving on. That's my bull side. That's my bear side. That's also the stuff that is on my radar that I want to be more in tune with. Normally, I do not care at all about the cost of gold. Price per ounce. Do not care. I have Peter Schiff blocked on Twitter. I have his name muted. I don't pay attention to all that. Frankly, those dudes just try to get angry engagement, and you guys reward them with the clicks, so don't do it. But let's focus on some stuff, a little bit of hindsight here, and focus on some stuff that has worked with Rainbow Theory and Rainbow Trends this week, because there's been a lot of stuff the guys in the Discord have been doing for a long time, and I want to take this part of the stream segment, now we're 40 minutes in, to talk Wyckoff, because a lot of trades over the past probably 18 months have been Wyckoff setups that the Rainbow Trends dude, shout out Mally, shout out Doppel, shout out Underdog, shout out all those dudes who've been killing it. Like I said, I forget names. They killed a lot of stuff, and they did a lot of stuff, and they caught a lot of stuff that most people couldn't catch in real life trading. 9 times out of 10, people that post on Twitch about like Wyckoff charts, they post about it in hindsight, and then they line everything up and they say, look how perfect it is. You're an idiot for missing it. And then you ask them, did they trade it? They're like, no. Or they lie. Whatever. People are really good at Photoshop. So I wanted to focus on this. Even the schematics here you're seeing do not agree. These change. People argue about them. It's very, very complicated. Most people can't trade these in real time. There's like 2 people in this world that I have confidence can actually trade a Wyckoff setup. 2. So keep that in mind. But also keep in mind, not everything is textbook Wyckoff, but you can add colors to this stuff. And that's where you really start to get interesting things happening. And this was some of the trades that I've been playing with, Malifestro and some other ones. A lot of them were automakers this year. Now, this is like the stereotypical thing, and people will sit there and go to war on Twitter about which a spring needs to be here versus here. Time, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. I don't care. Truth be told, price goes up or down, and then it wiggles. And then it goes up or it goes down. That's it. That's what the whales do over and over, and you don't have to argue with it. And right now, unlike Bitcoin, Bitcoin has gone up and it's wiggling. And now people are arguing, is it going to go up or is it going to go down? That's the whole argument. That's like terabytes of data on Twitter. That's what servers are cooking up. Like, there's satellites around the world doing tweets all over this. They want to overcomplicate this thing. Truth be told, rainbow trends, rainbow theory, using algos, everything else, this looks like a mess of a chart. Let me clean it up. Let me take some stuff off of here. Runner bot, channel walker off. We just want to look at colors, and we want to look at levels. Price nuked. Price formed pivots on the bottom, started layering in pivots on the bottom. We got an order block here. We shot up, we rolled over, and we started realizing this is the top range. This green part's the bottom range. Price is now doing this, wiggling. Top, bottom, right? Now, catching this in the moment as it prints is really, really hard. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's very, very hard. Now, typically what you'll see the rainbow dudes do, they can catch the bottom and the preliminary supports, and then we can kind of wait for a top, and then we know it's going to get choppy, and then we start looking for this damn mountain to form a creek, and then we jump the creek, we move out, we SOS, and then all things are hunky-dory, or we were wrong, it retraces and goes back down. Remember, it goes up or down, that's it. Can't go backwards. It goes up or goes down. Regardless, they're going to chop you up in Wyckoff. It's what it's supposed to do. This little thing here, this is supposed to give you that biggest damn glimmer of hope that we're going to do all-time highs. Doesn't happen. Retraces, forms this damn creek, and then takes you to a lower low, typically, per the schematic. Right there, just that little lower low gets you to, like, absolutely crap your pants, and then they full send it, right? Now, I am not a Wyckoff guy. I've got callers all over my damn chart to show you one thing that, like, I'm far from it, but we can trade these patterns and trade these setups because the whales repeat these year-round, 365, 24/7. Bottom range, top range, wiggle, creek, bam. I normally can catch the preliminary support in a bottom print based off just colors, and then I can see this when it forms. Once I get preliminary support, bottom, top range, I've kind of got enough to think, okay, if that's the bottom, that's the automatic reaction top. I probably got a resistance channel here, and I probably got a support down here. I'm not going to try to trade this stuff because I want to see this chop that eats people. And once I see the chop, I start looking for this to form. And then I warn people, hey, chill the F out here, because if it doesn't go, be really, really careful because it's going to bleed. And then we start looking for springs, and you see people talking in the Discord forever for spring, jump the creek. And if you could get that damn jump the creek thing, that is the easy trade. And you can ride it all the way up to here. Target, I'll cover that in a minute. That one actually closed this week. Ford, I'm still long. Not that this is not an art show. And you can see my alert here. So it says sell Ford now. I wanted that price, $14.51. And prior to this mess up with the daily close, we actually touched that bottom wick, which was 13.95. So instead of getting like 41%, I could have got out at 36% and been a winner, but I set it too high. So I apologize to myself. I'm still in the green, but the point being is, like, this is, you want to talk about like real traders doing real stuff with freaking rainbow charts? I can tell you one thing, money's green. You can call it goofy, you can blow it off. The people that have been with me for years can tell you it pays for itself. It's worth it. So it's not however you can put it. It can give you a better edge. And if you got a better edge, you're going to be more profitable. That's all I can say. But anyway, that is the setup. Now, moving on to GM. Do you see something similar? Do you see a bottom form, a top form? Chop, 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 chop. Creek. Jump the creek. Boom. And this one made it through kind of like what we were expecting in SOS, but it wasn't perfect. And like I said, this stuff isn't perfect. But if you keep it simple, look for like some preliminary support stuff, albeit this didn't really show a preliminary support, but we definitely got a resistance bottom. We got a clear automatic reaction, so SCAR, secondary test, and then we just need to look for chop, and then we want to look for this mountain dash creek thing, because no one talks about what the hell that thing's called. They just talk about the jump across the creek. And right there, your bad boy is your damn spring. Spring, spring, spring. And it's a lower low. And what's the lower low do? Everyone capitulates. They sell at a loss. And guess what? The big boy whales, they get effing long. So, I know there are multiple traders in the Discord right now that have GM positions. Long this and ride it up. From the Pico bottom, we're up 74% on an auto stock. Now, other people who waited for like above the order block range, that was still a 22% trade. 30% to the top of the order block. I mean, like, I'm just telling you guys. You talk about rainbows and real action. These are real trades that happened in the Discord with real people trading like colorful charts. And that's how I can make Wyckoff make sense to me and hopefully make Wyckoff make sense to you, because most people don't start talking about Wyckoff charts until they're like here at the resistance level. Hey, this looks like an SOS. Well, that's great. If it's not, it fully retraces. But your entry was over here and you didn't start talking about springs until after the fact. And I don't know about you, but I don't know how of a way to make an exchange give me a entry in the past. So you have to be on top of this and be patient, because this will chew you up. It's designed to eat your emotions. And that's kind of like the safe play. But by God, do you have to wait for it? You have to wait for this damn creek to form. You keep trying to bite at the wrong times, it can suck. There are some people that will low time frame trade this and do really, really well. For me, I wait for this area. I can see this. I can see this. I definitely can see that. And then I've got my order blocks. Wait for the creek. I see the creek here. This is my easy trade. So anyway, what's up, Vanity? Does this happen in all time frames or just daily or higher? To answer your question, it's a high time frame thing. I have never, ever, ever seen somebody actually trade Wyckoff stuff below like an H4. I've seen people try to apply like Wyckoff to like 1 minute charts, and it's really just, not to quote a president, but it's really a malarkey. Occasionally you will see this stuff like show up. Like here's 5-second candles. Shout out the, please bug me because I have the updated main indicator that can actually tune down to 10 seconds. I need to kick that out the door, and it's not on Fletch, it's on me. Anyway, Fletch thoroughly broke it and I fixed it. I just haven't released it yet. It's just so hard to release stuff. Anyway, typically I only look at stuff on like H4 or higher for these Wyckoff setups. Typically the big boys, you got to remember, like going back to that whale chart, your big beluga or your big blue whale, they can't turn fast. They have to move slow. Really slow. And you want to know where the big boys are turning, because the big boys can change the tide levels. The little guys who can do quick turns can't really macro move stuff. So I see a lot of people like argue like, hey, there's a Wyckoff setup on like 5-minute candles. It looks textbook, it does. And then you'll see it be like to the absolute T to like the most technical schematics, right? Like it's textbook, but it's on 30 seconds, and then price will just do the absolute opposite thing at the end of the chart. So with that being said, don't ask me, If you can do it on 30 seconds, teach me how to do it. That's the truth. I'm showing you guys how I figured it out, and to be honest, this was a really weird way to figure it out. Applying Rainbow and whales and algorithms was a really weird way, but it worked. But if you can do it low time frame, dude, post it up in the Discord. Come talk to us in the roundtable that's going to kick off in about 10 minutes in the Discord, and teach us how, because I would love to see how to do it, because I just don't think it's a thing. Because if you look at like lower time frames, you're going to be looking for like Wyckoff setups in this, and there's just not enough time to do it. And you're not going to get like a full Wyckoff schematic in that. That's just my thoughts on it. So anyway, Vanity, I hope you appreciate the new mic as well as the new sound filter on it. So anyway, give me 1 second, because Malifestro dropped a link and I need to check it. So I don't know what this is. I've never seen it before, but Mally sent it. Retracement, reversal, consolidation, expansion, and then price delivery in the central. That's really it. People like want to argue and overcomplicate things. Truth be told is you need to get good to know when your setup's coming. Not after the fact. You need to know it in the moment. Forget the lagging, forget the leading, because the leading stuff has low percent hit rates. And the lagging stuff has really, really great hit rates, but you can't get entries in the past. So all that mess, just studying this like crazy so I can grab that. I can't tell you how to trade these, but that's what I try to get. So keep that in mind. But anyway. Eat emotions and eat up anyway. Yeah, man. If you want to know, check us out at rainbow-trends.com. Sorry, I thought I had that link up. You can check out all our tools on there. And it looks like, yeah, the link went through. Sorry, I'm dual streaming, so I'm trying to like do a chat through OBS, which then relays back to you guys, but hopefully that works. And also, speaking of that, if you guys are interested, definitely show the YouTube channel some love, because that is where we archive all of these streams, where we have the deep learnings, as well as the clips and the interviews and all that stuff. Definitely give us a follow, give us some likes, give us some dislikes, tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, we can go from there. But on this huge Mac Wyckoff schematic on a GM, on a company I'm not crazy about, I kind of like Toyotas and Fords better than GM. Don't shoot the messenger. I do like C5 Corvettes. Did you guys know the Gen 1 Chevy Avalanche, they made a 2500 version with an 8.1 liter V8 with a 500 cubic inch engine? I just recently found out about these. They're really, really cheap. It's kind of a weird, goofy truck, and it has one of the biggest gas engines ever put in a vehicle. And they're dirt cheap. Nobody wants these things. These are like 15 grand. They suck gas, but they've like, you want a really cool kind of like luxury truck to go haul a boat 400 miles. This your guy. Anyway, just wanted to show that out. I found a cool truck I didn't know what it was about, and they're starting to get some love and some appreciation because they're super rare. That 8.1 was basically like Chevy's like, all right, you want diesel torque, but you don't want a diesel. We'll build this monstrosity of a motor. Now, moving on from the Avalanche, we could talk off-road more if you want. We could, but you want to talk about skin in the game? There's an actual target. There's a target. No, there's a target. 25% long swing that I got on this. And I took multiple entries because I thought that was going to be the spring, and then it bled out lower, and then it fully retraced, and I ended up longing later. Mally beat my butt to a pulp on managing this, but I did get my piece, and you guys want to say it's a LARP, that's an actual screenshot of the position like 2 minutes before I closed it. So, good management, no, but sticking to kind of a plan, yeah. And this is another example. This isn't GM, this isn't Ford, this isn't Toyota. This is just the same damn chart where I was setting up to jump across the creek. And if you want to put the channel walker tool on here, it'll jump across here. And that's kind of like the creek jump that I look at, as well as trying to get back into my order block. If you can reclaim order blocks, you can see how like this stayed below the order block, and then this actually got its butt in there. I really, really like that. And then we longed it back to the top. And I've almost got out of my damn Ford position today. but I set my stop loss too high. On the target one, I took it out on the bottom pivot. On the Ford, I went higher. I'm sorry. I thought the Broncos and the Mustangs were going to do good. I'm sorry. So, anywho, big win strategy. So, bro, you make a bot out of this and make passive money. I do automated trading. I do, but I don't like doing it. I don't like doing bots publicly anymore. It's hard to get people to understand what an actual fully automated algorithm does versus tools like this. The tools are much easier for people to pick up and understand. In reality, like actual like profitable algo trading is really, really boring or really, really scary. And that's kind of hard to get people to stomach. Trying to explain to somebody that a profitable bot will lose 7 trades and win 3 is really, really hard. And most people get like kind of crazy with that. But here's what it is. I used to do it on Stacked. Was it Stacked Invest? I think. I was one of the few approved Stacked Invest people, authors, that was actually approved for trading. And shout out, because I was part of a group that was took a funding from Alameda. So yay! I've got my Trabuco ties. Come at me, Zach. Anyway, no, please don't come at me, Zach. You got bigger fish to fry. Not that this is a scam. This shit's real. But moving on. If you want to do automated trading, definitely go check out my buddy at Walnut Exchange. He set that up with automated algorithms that you can set up to trade your accounts automatically. It's really cool. Really good dude. But with all of that being said, it is now time to hop over to the Discord. Shoot us a follow on the YouTube. Please give the YouTube some love. Hop on the Discord. Come say hi. We're going to go set up in here and do roundtable discussions. If you guys want to talk more GM Chevy Avalanches, we totally can. You want to talk Rivian? Let me know. I don't care. Anybody who's like not an a-hole can come talk and show charts, and we can talk about anything. Hell, we can look at EOS, Cardano, Zcash, all your favorite top performing assets. But with that being said, I will see you guys later. See you in the Discord. And hope you guys are doing well and hope you guys enjoy this thing. If you got any feedback, let me know. And we'll go from there. You want the link? It is, if somebody can drop it in the chat. I have to pull it from the Discord. Sorry, I don't have an automatic thing, but that's the Discord, and that is that one. What's up, Phil, the Flying Frenchman? Appreciate you, dude. Nope, I spelled it wrong. It's rainbowtrends.com with an S. So yeah, make sure you hop in there. But anyway, I'm going to sign